Hi, everybody. I am Anjanette, and welcome to this week's session of Building Community. And today I am here with a very special guest, Jasmine Patel, who's a vibrant social media personnel, and she is the author of several books. You Are the Love and Kindness, Passport of Kindness, right? What she really does is help people communicate, collaborate, and really form connections. So, a lot of her writing, she uses her positivity to really create an impact in other people's lives. She's also has numerous skills. She's not just a great author, she's really great at editing and social media graphics and design. So please help me welcome my friend, because she is a great friend, Jasmine Patel. How are you, Jasmine?
Doing great. How you doing?
I'm
Thanks
doing very well.
thanks for having me on here.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you. So I love your books and I love the names of them. I think it's very exciting. You Are the Love. I know the story of that. And so tell me about the Passport to Kindness. What inspired you to write that book?
It's actually called Waves of Kindness Passport, and
Okay,
that
that's better. Thank you.
yeah, okay. So that goes a long way back to when I was 18 years old, back in 2018. I was in my LNA class at school, and we watched this movie called Pay It Forward. If you haven't watched that movie yet, highly
Great
encourage you to
movie.
watch it.
I love
Pay
it.
It Forward.
Saw it.
Yep, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So then I got inspired. I'm like, okay, I want to do something like that, you know? And then I'm like, I'm gonna write a book. And then Waves of Kindness just came floating into my head. And I'm like, okay. So I actually started handwriting the book. Like I actually started writing it. But then as the year went by, I had to, abandon it because I had school to focus on and everything else. But Waves of Kindness always sat in the backseat of my mind. So fast forward to 2021 during COVID time. I got COVID, so had to stay home, and that sucked. Did not want to be home.
Yeah.
And, I was just on Facebook, and then I connected with someone from Pakistan and he wanted to interview me. So he interviewed me in January of that year. And then we started a show together called Waves of Kindness based on, what I wanted to do back in 2018. And then, fast forward a couple years, I finally decided to write my book called Waves of Kindness Passport, which is actually a collection of all my posts and writings I did on Facebook over the years because I knew I was going to write the book. So I'm like, you know what? If I put everything on Facebook, I can just easily copy and paste everything into a book. So that is the story.
So you kind of used Facebook as your journal.
Exactly,
I
yes.
like that. It's very inventive, very inventive. But you're also great at graphic designs and stuff like that. What got you interested in that, Jasmine?
I I've always been a creative person. I mean, so I guess I just kind of gravitated towards it. Yeah, but let me tell you, it took me a couple years to get all the experience I have.
Do you draw inspiration from anything particularly? Like, does something inspire you more than other situations? Because I kind of zone out when I'm doing graphic design. I really get into into what I'm doing. We can see him. It's okay. He's not disturbing the camera. It's okay. Your husband's welcome. So um
Actually, hold on a second. Actually, kind of gave me a good idea here.
you don't
Hello.
have to fix yourself. You look fine the way you are.
Hello, how are
So
you,
I
man?
know you're Jasmine's husband, and He is what the book is about, one of the books, right? The love that you guys found on social media. So that's pretty exciting.
Thank you,
What's your
ma'am.
name, sir?
My name is Dr. PPP, Dr. Praveen P. Patel, ma'am. What's your
Okay.
name?
It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Anjanette, the one, the only.
Nice to meet you.
I fancy myself as an influencer as well. So
Oh,
I'm
nice.
a health personnel. So So yeah, so it was nice to meet you. You don't have to hide in the back. You are not going to interrupt us because this show is really about Jasmine because I really love what she's out there doing in the world. Absolutely need more positivity, and I love that you are. So this show is really about building community and bringing people together and making those connections because in business and in life, those connections and fostering those relationships are really what propel us to move forward and really get us through those tough situations, right? So we're very similar in a lot of ways, Jasmine, more so
Hmm.
than you know. So going forward, what are you thinking about? You're thinking about doing another book? I feel there's another book coming.
How did it guilty as charged? I don't know what I do not know what it's gonna be about though, but I do want to write another one.
You got
I
the
just
writing spell. Once you put a book out there, you have to keep journaling those thoughts. So I love to journal, so I think it's so important. It's very instrumental in our growth process, We can look back. You see how you were just talking about what you did in 2018 and 2021. It allows you to look back and see how you want to propel like forward in what you want to do with your future.
hmm
So I really love what you're doing out here. What do you enjoy the most about being a social media influencer?
being able to connect with new people, you know? I love connecting with people. Something I thought I would never say a few years ago because I was the complete opposite. But no, that's my favorite part is being able to connect with people from all over the world and learn more about them and make new friends and all that kind of stuff.
So you connect them and collaborate with them in business and social settings, right?
Pretty much by being a friend to them, and then everything else just kind of flows naturally.
Okay, well that's good. I think you're a great friend. I think you're very supportive, right?
Hmm.
So what kind of ambitions do you have going forward? What would you like to see happen in 5 years for yourself or maybe 10? Have you thought about that trajectory of where you want to go?
I have learned, I have learned never to answer that question because because if someone were to ask me like 5 years ago today, where I would be 5 years from now, which would be today, I certainly would not say, oh, being in Canada, married for 2 years, an author of 4 books, social media influencer, I never would have said any of that. So my point is that I believe that the now, the present moment is the most important moment. The now eventually becomes our future and the now becomes our past. So focus on the now, and the better you make the present moment, which means the better your future will be.
I
So,
really like that. That's very insightful. I like the way you put that together. That was great. So we won't
mm.
ask you about your future or your past. We'll just focus on we'll focus on this moment. So it's such a pleasure to really have you here. And so were originally from the United States. Did you just want to change where you were geographically, or was there something that inspired you to move to Canada?
Well, my husband inspired me because, well, he's been a Canadian citizen here for like 30 years.
Okay.
So it was easier for me to come here rather. doing it the other way around. And, I wanted to try something new, do something I never thought I would do. And
How
of
long have
course,
you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I wanted to move out from my parents' house. I thought it was time.
Okay. How long
So,
have you been in Canada now? The 2 years or longer?
I've been here since August 25th, 2022, so about 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. How do you like married life? How's married life treating you? That's all
It
good.
it I can't speak for everyone, and I don't want to, but for me personally, marriage life is perfect.
It's great. It's great when you find that special someone.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. So, what is one thing that you really enjoy knowing? Like the audience loves to connect and know what makes Jasmine happy and what got her involved in this. So I do know what got you involved in this. What's one thing that you really enjoy doing in your day-to-day life that most people wouldn't think is Jasmine?
Oh my God, that's a good question. No one's asked me this one before. Um, daydreaming.
Daydreaming.
Daydreaming. Seriously. Like sometimes when I'm not with anyone or just with my husband, I just close my eyes and let my mind drift off and think about everything. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
It does, it does. I think as children, we're magical thinkers. I think as we get older, we lose part of that imagination. And I think that we should daydream more often
Yes.
and have those visions and let our minds go on those little breaks from time to time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm befuddled about what to really ask you because you just like you have so many different skills going on, right? So you do. I mean, you're an editor. So do you help people with editing on their books?
Um, very select, like extremely select people. In fact, funny you asked me this. Let me see if I can find it. Probably can't find it right now. Anyways, I helped one of my other friends on our book like last month, and it only took us 5 days to do it, but it was a lot of hard work. But
That's
still, we went
that's
through it.
great.
Yeah.
I was laughing because you're so cute. Um, it's extremely select. So, uh, um, so you publish your own books too, right?
Yes.
And you do that on Amazon. You're part of the Amazon Kindle. How
Yes.
hard would you say that is to learn? Because there's a lot of people that like I do
Eh,
Amazon Kindle too, but I had someone do that for me years ago. Now I go through a different publisher, and I had a professional publisher at one time. But there are a lot of people that are really interested in getting their message out there and are really considering doing a book. So, how hard would you say it is for them to learn how to do something like that on their own?
it would depend on their mindset and how motivated they are, because if they're not in the right frame of mind, they could easily give up. I wouldn't say it was hard, but you need to be patient because it's not something you're just gonna master overnight.
Yes, and it's more important to go through the process, I think. Like the first book that I put up there probably wasn't done so hot. So it's still there. I'm thinking about taking it off and redoing it more professionally now. But it was the process of experiencing that growth and learning how to do that process that I think was more important than the outcome. The outcome itself. It was just that process of learning and adding a new skill,
Mhm.
you know? So you put your own books up, you do the editing. What got you interested in the editing process? Because you do that with some friends, you help them, right? So would you recommend, this is a better question, I think, that more people are going to appreciate. would you suggest to people that they use a professional editor or they use something like Hemingway to help them check their work and
Um, okay, here's what I would recommend, and it's personally my recommendation. Say you're friends with someone that knows all this stuff and is practically a master at it, like me, for example. Take advantage of that, you know? Why go through someone else that you barely even know when you can just go through like one of your best buddies whom you trust?
yeah, exactly.
So, that's my that's my piece of advice. If you're already friends with someone that is in the world of editing and formatting, just go through them. Go through them. It'll be
I
easier.
agree. I think that a lot of people out there, I know that I was in two books through a publisher and it was very expensive and we only got a small chapter, and it wasn't done very well either. There were a lot of
Hmm.
typos and mistakes and stuff like that that I picked up on. So um I think it's a good idea though. Like, I do all my own editing and stuff like that. But I think it's a good idea to have someone proofread it because I think when you're involved in it, um, you talk kind of how you write. So if
Yeah.
you're talking and your tonations are off or your grammar or things like that, that will reflect in the book. Like I use a lot of conjunctions that aren't really proper. Like I can't and I shouldn't and then I go over the book and I'm like, oh God, I gotta fix all of this. So and it's a lot. You don't realize that you do that because we pick up slang along the way and we get proficient in the slang just as much as we are with
Right.
that intellectual. um so yeah, it's a process. So I'm hoping to see more books from you. I'm very glad that you came to join me in my audience today, and I look forward to having you on any shows. If you could give other shows, if you could give our audience, or if you know friends that need to be spotlighted, you can certainly send them my way. I'm happy to do that because we're friends. Um, if you could give the audience one piece of advice for life, something that's helped you the most with building friendships and building communities and being a social media influencer, what would that be?
In fact, this is something I've been learning the past couple of weeks. It's been tough, but it's a very valuable lesson, and I wanted to share with you all so that way you don't have to go through what I'm going through right now. You know, in friendships, especially friendships, they're not perfect. They are not perfect. You're gonna go through your hard times where you might not speak to each other or anything, but remember, if you're really good friends with that person, like besties, like you got a fucking strong bond that will not break no matter what. Don't freak out, you know? Just relax. Let the person have the space so that way, they can do their reflecting and processing and then allow them to come back when they feel ready. Something I had to learn. So, long story short, silence is not bad. Sometimes silence can be a gift. I know, that's totally unrelated to anything that we were talking about, but you told me to share one thing that's important, and that's probably one of the most important things I could share.
It does relate in a lot of way because it says who you are. It says a lot about your character. So it does relate. And the show's not about me, it's about what's important to you. So I like that you put that in because friendships are very important. I have a friend that I've been friends with since we were God in grammar school. And even though we don't always see each other, and we're not little chickens anymore.
Right.
We're up there in ages. So, and we still get together pretty regularly and go on vacations together and stuff. And even though we don't see each other for a long time, it's like we never left. And
Hmm.
we agree to disagree. That's how
Yes.
had those relationships as long as we have. So I like that you said that because friends are very important. So we're going to end
Yes.
this segment today. I want to thank you so much for coming. It was very nice meeting your husband back there. And if I can help in any way with your social media experience, please by all means reach out. Stay connected to me because now that we're friends, we're connected. Okay?
Yep.
You are a great friend, Jasmine. I want to thank you for coming. Audience, please thank my guest, Jasmine Patel, and we will see you on another episode. Have a great day.